The Seahawks have finally signed some new linebackers, and that was what fans wanted to see. So, who are these linebackers? What does this mean for the Seahawks? And are these good signings in general? So, let's talk about the two linebackers. We first of all signed Jerome Baker from the Miami Dolphins, 1 year, $7 million. He's a guy who was drafted in 2018, had some injuries in 2023, but that still resulted in him playing 13 games. Super durable. Other than that, in most of his career, he was playing 16 games, and just a very durable linebacker, which is great to get some linebacker depth after we really actually needed some. Bobby Wagner, Jordan Brooks gone, we needed it. Tyrel Dodson from the Buffalo Bills, 1 year, 4.2 million, could go up to 5.51 million if he meets a bunch of incentives, which would be great. In Buffalo, he was Milano's backup, and then he started last year because Milano was hurt, and he's played some middle linebacker. He actually was competing for the middle linebacker starting job at one point in Buffalo, but lost out on it and was a backup there. Last year, he played in Milano's spot as a starting linebacker, so we're getting a starting linebacker there. Let's talk about some attributes of both of these players. Both are physically around 6'1", between 230, 240 pounds. Typical linebackers. Baker ran a 4.53 time, while Dodson's a little bit slower at 4.6. Baker and Brooks, and Baker's basically Brooks' replacement. It's almost like we didn't swap them. We didn't actually make the trade, but Brooks went to Miami. Baker came to Seattle. They ran about identical 40 times. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Ages. Let's talk about their ages. Dodson is 26. Baker is 27. That is the age. Both young guys with plenty of football left in them. So I actually expect them to be major contributors for the Seahawks this year. Both have been pretty healthy and durable most of their career. Maybe Dodson more because he hasn't been a starter most of his career. But no, both have been pretty durable linebackers, which is an important thing because you want durability out of your linebackers, especially this team right now where we do not have the linebacker depth. We definitely need to get as much durability as we can with that position. Let's talk about some more overall conclusions. Like I said, they're healthy players. Dodson, he's good against the run, pretty bad against the pass. That's something that also kind of keep in mind here. We're getting kind of an upgrade with him against the run, but a downgrade against the pass. Baker himself was basically a good blitzer and an upgrade on Jordan Brooks in that front. He's about similar on the coverage to Jordan Brooks, but as far as blitzing, he's a better blitzer. So, Mike McDonald was going to be utilizing these guys in a way where I think both of them will be probably getting more out of their potential than they would other places, just because Mike McDonald schematically is just so good. Really, he's just a great schematics guy. All right, a couple things here. Looks like the Hawks in general are probably looking to build their defense through the draft, but the problem with this draft is it's a weaker linebacker draft. So yes, they are planning to build their draft through, or their defense through the draft, get more Mike McDonald type of guys in there, let him build his scheme, let him build his culture in general. I think that's really important to Mike McDonald. And but at the same time, I think here it's a weak linebacker draft. And I think what happened to the Seattle Seahawks, unfortunately, is the linebacker market, I think, moved super freaking fast. And when it moved super freaking fast, I think we kind of ended up with I'm not calling these guys scraps or anything like the leftovers, but they probably weren't choice 1, 2, right? They weren't probably our first choice in what we wanted to get. But that doesn't mean they're not good. It also doesn't mean they can't contribute. It also doesn't mean they can't overachieve, because with Mike McDonald, he's a very good schematic coach. He's a guy who wants to bring his people in, And I think with that, he's probably going to be able to get these guys rolling into a way that they really are going to be able to probably overachieve from what they would other places. So, yes, maybe we did not get exactly what we wanted. Maybe the linebacker position moves a little faster than we wanted. But that doesn't mean that we aren't going to end up with having some good linebackers. Plus, I know it's a weak linebacker draft, but that could be just in general, right? Sometimes you think it's a weak draft. Doesn't mean you can't find a diamond in the rough, and it doesn't mean that John Schneider and Mike McDonald maybe have different scouting reports than some draft experts. There might be some guy in the second or third round, or you have to move up to the second round to get a second round draft pick. But maybe they move up to the second round, take someone. They still have 1/3 round draft pick. Maybe they have a high grade on a linebacker in the first round pick, and that's where they're going. You never really know in football. Just because the linebacker draft seems weak, it doesn't mean you can't find a diamond in the rough. And that's exactly what the Seahawks could do here. So keep all that in mind when you're looking at these two guys. But welcome to Tyrel Dodson and Jerome Baker to the Seattle Seahawks. I think both of these guys are going to contribute. I think both of these guys are going to play, and I think both of them are going to, be major factors for the Seattle Seahawks. And it's going to be fun to watch them, and really excited for it. See what we do here rest of free agency in the draft. I don't think this team is built completely yet. I think in general, I forget the exact number, but Pete Carroll, when he first came to Seattle that first season, he put up, I think, hundreds of moves, right? Like they moved there were so many moving pieces around, and I can kind of see that here in this Mike McDonald offense. And maybe he could really go ahead and find those diamonds in the rough, move those people the way he wants, maybe get a guy late in the draft, maybe get some undrafted free agents. I mean, we've seen guys in the NFL, especially here in Seattle, late round picks really develop into something much more special than late round picks. And I think that's important to keep in mind here as the Seattle Seahawks continue to build their team and continue to build the continuity and continue to bring in guys that Mike McDonald is looking to bring in. So those are my thoughts on this signings in general. Thank you for watching here till the end of the video. My name is George on Tap. This is the Sports on Tap Network and Seattle on Tap. Just to give you guys a little bit of an update here on exactly what we're doing around the Sports on Tap and Seattle on Tap. If you're looking for our Mariners content, the Mariners season is right around the corner. Make sure you follow on YouTube at Mariners on Tap. You've probably seen it on Twitter and Instagram as well, at Mariners on Tap. All our Seahawks coverage will be here at Seattle on Tap. And if you're a Husky alum or Husky fan like I am, at Huskies on Tap, just on YouTube. We don't have a dedicated Instagram or Twitter for our Huskies content. But in general, that is where our Husky stuff can be found. And once again, I'm George on Tap. You can follow me on all my social media at George on Tap. And make sure you like and comment and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll be coming to you guys more often, me and Sammy on our podcast. And subscribe to the podcast. And thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time.